Hi, I'm Brandon. I love When Calls the Heart.
Hi, I'm Jax, and I like When Calls the Heart.
I'm Dan, and there's a coin, and I still despise When Calls the Heart, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Got a headache. It has nothing to do with this episode.
Are you sure?
I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea.
How much
I
of your
might still
smoothie
not.
have you had?
Most of it.
Most of it.
I
okay.
might still not like the episode, but just know that there's also a headache.
There's a headache coming on.
There's a headache at play. There's a headache at play.
Headache at play, everybody.
Hi, Jax.
Hi, guys. Long time no talk.
I
The
know.
Deckies were amazing.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, right. Yeah, but I feel like after spending such an intense day with you, even one night apart from you guys feels like a lot.
Yeah, it does.
I gotta be honest. I want to say this. I thought that you looked great. I do want to say, Dan, and I don't think you'll mind me sharing this. Dan whispered to me, "I can't believe she's wearing that."
Yeah, and you know what you did, Jax. And I don't want to even get into it.
I have no regrets, though.
regrets.
Honestly, that's how I want to live 2025 with no
2025,
regrets.
the year of
I didn't
no
even know you
regrets.
had a pair
How
of
many
Nike Dunk Chunky Dunkies. I didn't know you had a pair of them.
How many regrets did you have in 2024?
Ooh, a plethora. A
Okay.
plethora. of regrets.
But I just have to imagine
Good
going
answer.
into 2025 saying I want to have no regrets. I imagine that there was a catalyst for that.
Oh, you know what? I think it's just
What
being
I'm trying
like,
to get at is, what was the biggest regret last year that made you go into 2025 saying no regrets?
I think it was just compromising pieces of myself.
Oh, wow.
Giving
The pieces of you?
Pieces of me. Pieces of me.
On a Monday. It's unbelievable.
Ashley Simpson is Jax's therapist.
And she can only say song lyrics.
Yes, that's all she can do.
Oh my gosh, that would be a
Seems
fun
like you
sketch.
can finally rest your head on something real.
You make me want a la-la?
Yeah, I'm out after one song. We've done this whole thing before. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's
It's
bound to
all
repeat
done.
itself. It's fine.
We're talking. How good is your Ashley Simpson's knowledge, Jax?
She's Jessica Simpson's little sister, and
That's
she
right.
had like blonde hair, but then like kind of like black highlights underneath.
I
I'm
don't
sure she did
remember that.
that at one point.
I just
She had
remember
an
her lip
MTV
syncing
show.
on SNL,
Yeah.
Oh, she
and that was
lip-
kind of the end of her.
She had an MTV show. She dated Ryan Cabrera. We've met.
We met Ryan Cabrera.
We've
We
met.
shared a green room with Ryan Cabrera.
That's right.
Wait, was
That
that
should
for?
say something about him or us. You can choose.
I think it says you're both in good company.
There you go. There you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shout out
He
Ryan
said
Cabrera.
he'd come on our show.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
Really
He's
nice
a really
guy.
nice guy. Like super nice guy.
He sang the one song,
He sang his song.
which is great. The one song you know
Yeah.
by Ryan Cabrera. He went on. and he
On the
sang it.
way down.
That's
Is that
it.
it? Yep. There it is.
sang
Oh,
it.
that's a classic.
Yeah. Let's go When Calls the Heart, shall we? When Calls the Heart,
Do it.
season 12, episode 3. I wish Ryan Cabrera was on this show.
It'd be cool.
What's it called?
Now get your nuts here.
Pretty good.
How do you like D's nuts?
Oh, that's a no regrets answer by Jax. Jax would have taken the high road last year. No, no regrets
Not
this year.
this year, baby.
It's the year of the nuts. All That Glitters
All
is
That
the
Glitters
name of
is
this
nuts.
episode. Unless it's not. If it's not, then don't come at me. But as far as I know, it's All That Glitters. January 19th, 2025 is when it premiered, and it went a little something like this. The kids take over the radio show, and they're talking about the booming Hazelnut Company, which leads me to think that we're not going to get our Gowan Hazelnut episode. It's already booming. I want the real
Yeah,
true
you
Hollywood
want the
story
Breaking
about it.
Bad, like
That's right.
you just want to sell nuts, man.
It's a gripping segment of radio. Allie tells Nathan that for her 17th birthday, she wants it to be a real party. None of this silly kid stuff. Nathan and Elizabeth sneak into the office to make out. But Oliver is there, and that puts a bummer on everything. He tells Nathan that he put a case file on his desk. He takes a look at it, and he is shocked to find out that Oliver don't write so good. Elizabeth takes a look at that and says, this is a 4th or 5th grade level. So something's going on there. They're going to try to get to the bottom of that. There's a guy named Jed who also has a nut company, and Gowan is pricing his hazelnuts lower than Jed's. Which again is just so interesting. Like, I just want that episode. Cutthroat Gowan.
Slice the prices again. I don't care if we lose money.
We'll lose money until we make money. You know what I mean?
It's about the integrity of the nuts.
Ned gets a double-headed eagle gold coin, which is very exciting. Sorry. And Rosemary thinks that it's going to be a good radio show segments, but only once the owner comes to claim it. You know, Lucas is feeling the pressure about the park and is avoiding the press, and he's gonna try to. He realizes the only way that he can get the whole park and nothing but the park is to convince Edie to go with his plan for the park. That's my understanding of it, at least. So he gets on a train and he meets with Edie to try to figure out a compromise. Rosemary gets word that Lee is up to something secretive, first with Bill and then with Faith. What's going on? Cute boy Earl Wyatt comes back into town. You'll remember him from the different time. And Allie is all about him, and then she sees him dancing, and she's like,
an idea just right there.
What if for my party we had a dance party with boys? Lucas comes back into town, and Lee gives him the cold shoulder. He tries to get into his office, but it's being used for hazelnuts.
It's just an office full of nuts.
It's being used for hazelnut storage.
Got him! Got him! Where are we going to put the nuts? They're not selling.
I know. Rosemary and Elizabeth decide to spy on Lee and Frickham when they see them biking out into the woods together, which was very cute, by the way. Those two grown adults biking out of the woods. But they're really bad spies, and so they catch them. And Lee finally admits that he's been working on a trail that he's going to call the Goldie Trail, which is when he's like, here's the deal. Goldie's not getting a park, so I gave her a trail instead.
What a great dad.
Bill pitches to Rosemary that they investigate the coin together, because apparently the coins, there was a collection of the double-sided eagle coins, double rainbow all the way, that were stolen. And so if one of those coins is here, it's likely that that coin is a part of that collection. So we can crack this case wide open. The gang is back together. The episode ends with Nathan and Elizabeth spending, I believe, the final 20 to 30 minutes looking at each other in slow motion and riding on a horse. And that, my friends, was When Calls the Heart, Season 12, Episode 3.
Get your nuts here.
Glitters. It's gold. Let's
gold.
take a quick break. It's Goldie. She's a trail now. Imagine thinking you're going to be a park and you end up being a trail.
God. You can't even show your face.
so embarrassing. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll break this episode down here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking When Calls the Heart, Season 12, Episode 3. All that glitters. Let's break it down. The only way we know how, that's with 4 segments. We're going to start with a hot take. It's where we share exactly how we felt about this episode of television. We're not going to hold back. I'm going to start with Jax.
No regrets.
No regrets, Jax, as we like to call around the office. Jax, what did you think about Season 12, Episode 3, All That Glitters?
This is one of the horniest episodes of TV I've ever seen. I don't know what to tell you.
What a kind read on this.
Like, guys, when they go in her classroom together, there is so much pent up sexual frustration, and when they get caught by Oliver, I'm not gonna lie, it feels exciting, it feels sensual, it also feels like a little dirty. Like I actually feel bad watching it, and I watch things that are much more much more obviously risque, but this feels wrong. It feels wrong, but right at the same time. So there's that.
Well, especially seeing as how Oliver's anywhere from 14 to
30.
25.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
It is. That was a heck of a way to start the episode. I do think it was really sweet.
What you're saying is if he's of age, invite him in on the action. Is that what you're saying?
No, but
Good
wow,
God, man.
Brad.
I took it. Is that not?
No, I read no. This is not like
none of
House
what
of
she
Cards.
said meant that.
Sorry.
at
Yeah, no,
all.
not even a little
I
bit.
got a headache.
I love that you went there though.
I got a headache.
What a move.
You got a headache?
I
What
have a
you're
headache.
saying is just let him watch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
People are gonna stop listening. Let's go.
People are gonna stop. People are gonna start.
We did get a review 2 weeks ago that was like it's got more innuendo in it than it used to. I wonder why. wonder what happened there.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No.
Okay. But I will. How sweet that Allie is saying, yes, you guys need to go on a real date. A picnic with your kids is not a real date. Yes. Also, Oliver in this episode, I love the Oliver and Elizabeth connection of Elizabeth helping him through this. This kid has such vulnerability. He was a foster kid who didn't really get to finish school. And something I did write in my notes, what a wild ride. I wrote, you can't tease me like that. I thought Bill and Rosemary were going to solve cases together when I saw them interacting in the beginning. And then at the end,
Here we
they're
are.
going to be
Here we
solving the
are.
mystery about the coin. So here we are. I'll say I'm a happy girl. I'm a happy girl to have them solve cases together. Elizabeth and Rosemary in those cute little hats. You could tell that they knew it was funny and that they were like, this is a sight gag. Let's really lean into it. And you know what? I was okay with that. Guys,
Get.
you can tell they're having fun working
Yes.
on this show. And when Rosemary is so cute when she says, I don't want him to see me act peculiar because they're following Lee. And, Elizabeth says, I suspect that ship has sailed. I chuckled out loud. So there's the good things that are happening.
I'm with you, pal. Listen, every episode's getting better.
That's one way to look at
And so that's great. I had a borderline good time with some of this episode, and that's nice. That's nice. There's still elements of it that I could do without, but again, and I can't stress this enough. I am here for any and all hazelnut action, and if hazelnut,
getting any. Yeah.
if hazelnut is, there's something going on there.
There isn't.
Gowan undercutting Jed's nut business. That's your story for the season right there. How's he doing it? This guy, how's he doing it? This guy doesn't have the money to just be losing money like that. It's not like, he's killed a lot of people. And so it's not like he has the money to burn. It's not like he went out to Silicon Valley and it's like, I need millions of dollars. I'm going to lose money for the first 8 or 9 years of business, but then we're going to turn the corner and he can't do that. So what's going on there? Here for it. Give me all of the hazelnut action. Dano?
You guys are in such a weird fairyland, and I'm thrilled for you.
We're in a fairyland.
It is not reality here. Jax's hot take is probably closer to accurate. Like thinking there's anything behind the hazelnut business. You created an entire serial podcast documentary.
They're laundering money.
And I would love for it to be true, but you and I both know that none of it is true at all. It will add up to nothing. What happened was this here, folks. Aside from the fact that we still don't know what the big thing of the season is. We still don't know what it is unless this is it. This is what we got.
Coin and hazelnut.
Coin and hazelnut. Last year, we got to watch Bill and Rosemary try to solve the attempted murder of Lucas. And it was fun until they gave away the ending and not without letting them solve it. And then it was stupid. But along the way, enough people said what we were saying on this podcast, and I'm sure we weren't the first, nor were we the last, to say, hey, these two together on a procedural solving cases, I'm in. I'm in for that show. Call it whatever you want to call it, but that is a show that I would watch. And so this year it was like, well, we've got this boring show, and we've got people who are here just for Nathan and Elizabeth. How do we have them solve a case? There's no case to be solved this year. What if we have them solve a cold case? They can solve like a famous cold case in history. And so while that is the most exciting thing to have happened thus far in season 12 of When Calls the Heart, in my opinion, it was an eye-rolling, lame attempt to get some sort of traction. Is it still the most interesting? Yes. Yes, it is still the most interesting. Will it be the thing I'm looking forward to the most every week? Probably. Is it getting out of hand, the scenes that we have Nathan and Elizabeth in that aren't supposed to be anything more than them almost kissing or kissing next to an AI-driven horseback? Yeah, it's getting out of hand. Jax is not wrong. It's weird. It's starting to get weird. You are 5 seasons into making eyes and making out. You're 5 seasons of television into this. It's getting weird. It probably was weird years ago, but it's definitely weird now. Just on the cards, this is a little bit of a better episode, but I still have the least amount of faith I've had in the show ever. I don't know what the driving for, even in the seasons that seemed aimless, where she wasn't going to choose anybody. There's this drilling for oil thing with Gowan that was pretty interesting. This is a big bag of nothing, and I'm very, very worried because you and I, we all know what's going to happen here. Bill and Rosemary are going to get, there's what? Is there 12 episodes this season or 10, Jax?
I think it's 12.
God.
But I'm not positive.
All of us. All right. In the 9 more episodes that we have, we're going to get under 50 total minutes of Bill Avery and Rosemary solving the train robbery. Under or over 50 total minutes?
Oh, definitely way under. I think probably like 23 minutes.
Yeah. We've got
about give or take 23
basically
minutes.
380 minutes of television, and we're going to get, to Jax's point, 23 minutes of this. I said 50 to be kind. It's not going to get to 50. It just isn't. This is a mess. It's a mess. You may as well just get them married. Why are we doing this? They're nowhere near it. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's tough out there. Technically better than the other two, though.
Let's get to all the feels. We were talking about what in this episode gave us feels, Jax.
Okay, Earl Wyatt has rolled into town on his bicycle. I don't know the age of this.
Motorbike. It wasn't a bicycle.
Motorbike.
Yeah,
motorbike.
On his bicycle. Come on, Jax.
Oh, it was a motorbike. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I don't know the age of this actor, so I'm going to refrain from saying anything too weird. But I will say that he. You got me. No regrets. He's like a young Timothy.
Means what you think of things anymore.
Definitely.
That hair. He's a
Legal
young
regrets.
Timothy Chalamet. I love that he's a love interest for our Allie, who's like playing with her little pigtails when he compliments her. I think it's really, really sweet and cute. I think Nathan mentoring Oliver and Elizabeth also being a mentor to Oliver, seeing them work together in that way is really beautiful and really sweet. And I'm excited to see where these storylines go.
Yeah, you know where I'm going. This hazelnut business.
You have nothing.
You
have nothing. You've decided I don't have to watch.
Can I ask you a question, Dan?
If I just talk hazelnuts
Before you're rude, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
When has Gowan ever had a business that he stayed a part of for a long time that didn't ultimately head into a sketchy?
Then he stayed a part of for a long time is your qualifying thing, because for the last 5 years he's been above board. Since the oil thing where he's like, this is wrong, he's been above board for 5 years.
Yep.
So there's no world. They've done a full redemption arc. They've done a full. I love it. You and I both know there's no world where he's dirty
All
in the hazelnut.
all I'm
business.
saying is this man who, again, a quick reminder or a quick refresher, did kill all the men in this town.
That was his old self. He's died to his old self.
He did 100%, and I do believe that people can change. I don't believe that people can change when they are undercutting the business from across the street. I think there's something shady going on there, and I'm here for it. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm here for it. Nothing would thrill me more than to find out that Gowan is back, baby, and the hazelnut business is.
God, if you're right, it would be so nice.
Is back to being. He's back to his. Listen, he's back to his old.
What gets more time in the last 9 episodes? Jack and Rosemary.
Oh, that's a good question.
Train robbery, solving it. Gowan. It's not Gowan hazelnut business. It's clearly Jack and Rosemary brand. That's what I'm telling you is. Jack said 23 minutes total. I think it's going to be more than the hazelnut.
Well, and I think you're right because he's never gotten that much. Like even when he was the town murderer, he still wasn't on screen a ton, which is the biggest shame. Give him stuff to do. Let him play. That's when the show's at its best. Let him cook.
Let Gowan cook.
Let him not.
Let him
No. Let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him get in the hazelnut
Sell
business. Let him
hazelnuts.
sell the hazelnut. I'm here for it, and I'm just calling it now. That's all I'm doing, and it's giving me just even thinking about it. I'm getting feels. Dan,
my feels are each and every week on this program we call Deck the Hallmark. I get to listen to Jax and Brandon come up with feels for When Calls the Heart episode, and it does make me happy. That's all I got.
let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get to the way what and the hopes and valleys here on
Deck the Hallmark. Just got word there, Jax, that Earl, the character that rode into town on his motorbike, is 21 years old. 21 years
Oh,
old.
wait, he is?
Yes, he's 21.
Are you saying that just to trick me into saying something that's going to get me in trouble?
I have gotten it on good authority from producer Erin Shea, unless she's doing a bit. She's showing me the IMDb page now. September 2nd. Oh, that's my anniversary. 2003.
Let me see a picture
That's right.
of this guy. Where's he at?
There he
we
is.
don't have one.
There it is. He's 21 and
Is that the same kid, or did they
That's the same
recast
kid.
him?
That's the same kid.
What's his
I
name?
don't know.
What's his
Nicholas
name?
Dukic.
The Dukich. I think they may
D-E,
have recast.
how do you spell it? D-E-U?
Dukic.
I think they may have recast a Dukich.
D-U-K-I-C.
Yeah, it's not the new who he plays. The guy that plays him is not listed for this episode because this episode's not out as of this recording.
That's never stopped them before. They're not going to update it ever. I don't think that's just what they. IMDb's random. Anyway, you go ahead. Jax.
He's 21 per Aaron Shea.
He's 21. Okay.
The one who played the original Earl Wyatt is 21. Yes.
Oh, this might. I see that was.
Earl Wyatt.
That's a different kid.
That was
right?
in 2017.
Yeah.
He looked. I don't know. He looks.
Well, you
like
know
a
what?
kid
I'll
to me.
reserve. I won't say it until
great.
because I teach kids, so
That's
I
fair.
don't want
That's
to
fair.
get myself in
Can't
trouble.
believe we're here.
Yeah. If you didn't teach,
Could have avoided this in the
then who
last segment.
cares?
I have these are actual questions for my Wait Whats. Am I already supposed to really know and care about Jed?
No,
I don't know. He was
we
new to
saw
me.
the sign and we were like, "Who the f is Jed?"
Okay, that's same. Oh, same. It was, yeah. And anyway, yes. Okay, great. You don't need to give the coin back. Why? I know that's going to lead us to the mystery, so I'm happy with it. But when it's these humble local merchants let the humble local merchants keep the coin.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I love it.
And then finally, you guys know because you are working parents. How does Elizabeth have time to go on excursions with Rosemary in the forest, to help Oliver just whenever? She is a single mom to a child, and she is a full-time teacher, and she's
They're not even trying
dating.
anymore.
So
No.
she's back.
No.
Yeah. So it's bonkers to me that she seemingly has so much time to get into whatever she needs to get into.
Okay, listen, there's nothing like parenting takes up so much time.
Yeah.
And you can't just willy-nilly.
You can
Like,
if
we
you want to
get-
be a bad parent.
We get 2-hour delayed snow. What was that, last Monday?
Last Monday, yes.
And that threw everything off. We
Yeah.
had to plan a whole thing around it.
because Greenville County's crazy with the snow. There's a 2-hour delay.
Let's talk about tag, shall we? Is tag a continuation game where I always thought tag's done when it's done, you know?
I don't-
in this episode, I don't even remember when it happened or who it happened to, but I want somebody, I think it's Nathan, walks up to Oliver and says, "Hey, Allie wants you to know that you're it."
Elizabeth
Okay,
walked up
yes.
to Oliver.
Yes, that's right.
This was after she got caught
and
nearly
little-
boning.
yes.
And she almost was boning Nathan.
Okay,
So she was
yeah.
like, "Jack said tag, you're it."
Tag,
It was like,
you're
"Girl,
it. That's
what?"
right. Lil
Yeah.
Jack said tag, you're it.
Yeah.
Is tag, do people play continual tag?
Can I throw something at you?
No.
I think the game of tag is a lot like your dreams, which is it never, like, you never know exactly how it ends. I don't remember ever in my entire life of playing tag as a child knowing how the game ended.
It's just like you play and then you go, I'm done.
That's right.
Let's
it just
do
kind of
something
ends
else.
when something else happens. Like recess is done, or it's time to eat, or you decide to play a new game. There's no, like, there is a movie, there's a tag movie, I did
Tag.
see it, where there is a winner somehow. I don't remember the gist of it. I saw it and I thought it was fine.
Like it. Go ahead, Aaron. You are
also
our
saw the
tag,
movie Tag.
I've
You are a
also seen-
movie tag expert.
What I think happens is every year they have a time limit.
That's right.
That's
And so
right.
whoever is it at the end of that time limit, when they start again next year, that person is still it.
That's
So
right.
it is a
Yeah,
continual
that checks.
game, but there's
Yes.
it's a 1 week a year
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I guess when Calls the Heart saw this movie in
was like-
1920 and
It
said
is
yes.
possible.
Yeah, we got
It's possible that I'm giving this more thought
What?
than it deserves, but
Between that and hazelnuts, you got to calm your brain down.
I
over
know,
there.
I know. AI finished this episode, and
For
I
sure.
won't hear
For sure.
anything else about it. This episode ends with, again, it felt like 20 minutes of slow motion. Nathan, Elizabeth on a horse,
Sunset.
looking at each other, and there were some scenes that I would bet the farm was done by AI. It just looked so weird. And I didn't like it. I didn't like the way
It
even
remind-
if it wasn't done by AI, I didn't like it. The way that this episode ended, it felt like when a song fades out and you're like, oh, they didn't know how to end a song. So they did a fade out, right? And this felt like the longest fade out
It's
in the
every
history
episode,
of fade outs.
but this was egregious.
No, I do agree with you, Bran. It reminded me of, and I say this with all admiration and respect, and still wishing her good wishes on
we
her
go.
health. But when Kate Middleton came out with that video where she talked about her cancer diagnosis, and people were like, "Is this real? Is this AI?" I think it was real, but there was something about it that seemed like it was AI. And this also seemed
Yeah.
like not only the background was AI, but like it might have been like avatars of.
They didn't
It
It
didn't
seem
seem
real.
No one seemed
Didn't
real.
seem real.
Nothing.
It
in
didn't
the,
seem
Yeah,
real.
it was real
Yeah.
bad.
It
Yeah.
seemed like it seemed like fan fiction, fan generated AI that's still like only having them ride a horse together. That's like, even in
It's AI fanfic of horse riding.
of horse riding. That's right.
The
Dan?
horse girls out there are loving it.
They love it.
Yeah. Allie's just now turning 17. Okay. All right. First of all, that actor's got to be 20. Second of all, this show, in all the ways that it is not like real life, is most not like real life when it comes to children becoming adults or near adults regularly. Guys, I got news for you. If you're turning 17 in 1920, you're just now not starting to think about boys and girls and having a dance. You're probably married or you're working full time. You're not in pigtails, skipping through the meadows. It's 105 years ago, okay? Like, people dropped out of school regularly when they were 12 years old. It is such a weird thing. Of all the things that When Calls the Heart decides to do is to try to make these people seem younger than they are and to celebrate a 10-year-old milestone in a 17-year-old kid. It is weird, and it's weird that they keep it going. And I don't care. If you're listening right now and you're Team Nathan, you're like, well, Nathan came to town in this date, and Allie was this year old when blah, blah, blah. Forget that. Opal, the character of Opal is in Elizabeth's first class, and we're in season 12. At the very minimum, she's 17. And when Allie comes to town, Allie's like a foot taller than Opal. Okay? So, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, Opal is probably currently 16, 17, 18. Allie's probably currently like...
Allie's 18.
She's 18,
like,
yeah.
I just, like, what they're doing here is just, like, let these people just become adults and let them leave school. Like what they've done
with to heart the new class.
Well, yeah, what they've done with Opal is absurd. It's absurd. She's been in Elizabeth's class for a dozen years. That's how many years you total go to school 1st to 12th grade, not including she's been in Elizabeth's class. She's seen some things, man. Like let the poor woman just leave. Like, it's crazy to me. I couldn't get over it. Oliver's character, who has lied on his resume about where he went to school, has lied about his capabilities, has lied at how good of a reader and writer that he is, right?
Oh, he's a good reader.
He's a good reader. Nathan is like, I can't believe he's bad writer when he's good reader. Okay, Nathan, have you ever met anyone before? But Oliver knows he's not a good writer, and yet has a full page of him writing that he's either turned in or they have found. Buddy, if your whole gambit is, if they think I'm a good writer, I don't have to prove it, maybe don't show them that you're a bad writer. Like, maybe keep your writing secret for as long as you possibly can. Like, for a guy that's saying he's a great writer but knows he's not a good writer and is smart enough to have gotten this far in cadet school, it's weird that he's just left out a full page of handwritten stuff for people to see. Like, you weren't going to get caught immediately, right? Yeah. Am I wrong there?
No, you're right.
Okay, just making sure.
Like his whole job at this point is in some way, shape, or form reading and writing.
That's exactly right.
That's basically the majority of it. He was going to get found out.
He's going to, but like, keep up the bit as long as you can until you're forced to write. Do not write, and by that point, maybe it's too late. Like, dude, I'm serious. I'm not like Bill Gates dropped out of college, blah, blah, blah. You hear all these stories. Like, everyone needs something different. You don't need to be a good writer to be good at things. Like, don't let that get you down. And if you want to be a Mountie, try your best to fake it till you make it without giving them a page of handwritten stuff to prove you wrong.
Maybe they won't notice.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because the way he was organizing the files and the way his brain works and analyzes, and the fact that he is a good reader, he could very well do these duties and then, like, you know, when he's writing up a report later on, it's like, oh, this seems a little weird. You're right. He could have kicked the can on that for a lot longer.
Yeah. Two more quick ones. One is, if we're having a bad parent contest, Lee Coulter's at the front of that line. Lee, you're building a trail, buddy? Stop it. Stop doing things. How many things are you doing? You're helping with a park. You're helping with a lumber company. You're helping with a newspaper company. At this point, you are an addict to not being a father. You are addicted to doing anything aside from spending time with your wife and your child, and it is absurd. It is absurd. Dude, you don't need it. He runs a pub. He half owns a pub. I forgot that one. This is the fifth thing that Lee is doing. Pub, lumber, newspaper, park, trail. Why? Buddy,
in his defense, park's not happening anymore. He had a free part of his day. He was no longer parking.
I'm afraid Goldie is not going to have anything to remember me by. She's certainly not going to remember your face because you're never around. And then lastly, our boy Earl comes back to town riding a motorbike. And they're like, what are you doing back in town? And he's like, because of my dad, I can ride the train everywhere. He said from a motorbike he just rode into town.
He did the...
can we go back? Did you come in on the motorbike or the train?
He did the Mountain Dew commercial, where they are on the bike and then they go into train to drink the Mountain Dew.
We'll have Earl come in on a motorbike and then they'll ask him, why are you here? And he'll say, the train.
That's why I'm here.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. I love riding the train from anywhere, and I have people park a motorbike at the train station. Wherever I go, I send a telegram ahead. I go, park a motorbike at the train so I got to ride in and flip my hair. But train, mainly train.
Only person we actually see on train in this episode is Lucas.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a bike.
And Evie.
And Edie.
Yeah, Edie, excuse me. Not
Edie.
Evie.
Not
Would never.
That saucy Manx.
Saucy Manx.
Saucy Manx. Let's get to hopes and values where we share our hopes for the future or the things that are bumming us out. Jax?
I am interested to see where this sweet little budding romance between Jada, between
I'm out.
that's her real life name.
Allie.
I'm out.
Between Allie, I'm Allie. Between Allie and Earl goes. Now that I know they're both of age, let's give them a real kiss on screen.
Wow.
See how that goes. I think
Let's see how
Let's
that
see
goes.
how it goes. Sounds like your hopes are as high as mine are.
Let's see how it goes.
we'll just see. Just see how it goes.
Maybe if their lips are doing something else, they can't talk anymore.
I think it's going to be a really sweet budding romance. And I think that what is bumming me out, is that I really do feel like, and I don't know if we're going to get back on track, the spark that I loved so much between Lee and Rosemary is they're not doing enough scenes together. No. And also, like, it's the communication, like the fact that Bill and Faith needed to, first of all, Faith's like breaking HIPAA laws that I know don't exist yet, but they're both saying like revealing information and being like, don't tell your husband. Are you freaking kidding me? These people are not newly dating. They are married. They have a child. This is not how relationships work. Stop it. Stop it. That is actually a really bad example to set for people. I want them back together, having fun and communicating. That is their strong suit.
Fair. I will say on one of your two hopes, Jax, next week's episode, not called Dancing Queen, called Dancing Teens. Next episode. So who
Dancing
knows?
Teens.
Hello.
All right. This is a very weird. Philo.tv/DTH. I don't know if you want it, but we've got it.
I didn't like
We've
it.
got that reaction from Jax.
Listen, I don't want to.
Hazelnuts? Is it nuts?
Let's talk
Hazelnuts.
Yeah,
hazelnuts.
let's talk nuts.
My hope is that something's gonna happen with the hazelnuts, and it's gonna be nefarious. I'm gonna have a great time. My other hope is, I don't know if you've noticed this, Dan, but one Robert Pockets has been.
Dude, it's Pockets and Robert's two different people.
I don't care, but Robert has kind of been doinking around town during this season.
Yes, you're so right.
And he's not saying a single line.
And he's just kind of sitting there. And my hope is that he is going to do something this season. He's out of school. We know that. He's out of school.
Cop training.
Yes,
right?
he's trying. He was trying to be a Mountie or something. He kind of looks like he's works for the post office now. He kind of always has a satchel on him. My hope is that Robert does something this season, because if not, it is the craziest thing.
It's funny.
Do you think he could be Hope Valley's first serial killer?
Oh, that would be great.
Maybe.
But I don't think he is.
And Bill and Rosemary cracked the case before he actually
This
kills
is what
him.
I will say. And you brought up
Before he kills
Bill and
anyone?
Rosemary.
Yeah, but I guess it's
serial
sweet,
killer.
you know?
Yeah.
You brought up.
He's got a murder board all out of who he wants to kill, with newspaper clippings and journals detailing how awful it's going to be, but then they crack the case before he does.
Well, I don't like that. I like Robert.
Okay.
Maybe joining the team of Bill and Rosemary in their crime-solving ways. I like Robert, and I think Robert.
I think my idea is better. You guys can vote.
It is better, but they're not gonna. I'm trying to live in reality for once.
Okay,
in
good
my
point.
life.
Good point. Okay,
Producer
good point.
Aaron Shea just texted me her theory on this
On
situation, and it is it's a fresh hell that I've not
Are
thought
we
of.
allowed to share it?
My hope is Earl is a bad guy, and Robert punches him to defend Allie, and they end up together.
Because they definitely.
Oh
had
wait,
some
Aaron, I
spark.
love that.
Earl could be the serial killer.
Yeah,
He's
well,
going
yeah.
Yeah, Aaron, I mean-
trains,
I
he's
was just
killing
thinking
people in
more
different
of
towns.
the just
You're
the
right, Aaron.
two titans at work of Allie and Robert having
Yeah, I'm
scenes
here for
together.
I like Robert. The last update that we have on Robert on When Calls the Heart fandoms page, it's not loading anymore. I got an ad and I can't get out of it. Oh, I got it. Okay. Robert takes over babysitting for Lil Jack. That's the last update we have, and I don't think he's doing that anymore.
Because Baby Jack's in school.
Yeah. So,
which means time has passed. That means Opal's got to be 100 by now.
Like Opal, Robert has been appearing in every season since the third one, just below Emily, who has appeared on the show since the first season. All right. So Robert's an institution at this
Opal
point.
was here in the third season. Excuse me, I said first.
That's right. So,
10 years.
but they have, in their defense, Robert has moved on. So
Yeah.
he is showing that he can't. But he's been, I think, in every episode this season, and he hasn't said a word.
Lurking.
Which is really interesting. And so I'm just hopeful that he gets to even get a line.
Is he getting paid aside from being a background actor right now, Jack?
It's gotta be, right?
Well, see, that's what I'm wondering. If you don't have a line,
does he get
you could just be getting paid as a background actor.
He's getting $108 a day Canadian or whatever it is. Like he's just.
Is he having lines that they're just cutting? Honestly, I need to know.
Yeah, that's crazy. My hope is that 50-minute mark that I gave you for 380 minutes left in the season, 50 minutes for Jack and Rosemary on the train robbery. A successful season is over. I think if it's over that number, that can, even though it's a mystery that's a cold case, so it doesn't have any bearing on anyone in town, that is going to be the most entertaining thing we see all year. So give me over 50 minutes of that over the next 9 episodes, and I'll be happy. That's all I got, Brent.
We did it, everybody. Congratulations to us.
What's
Next
calling
week,
my heart? hello@deckthehallmark.com. You can tell us what's calling your heart. Email us, hello@deckthehallmark.com. Brand's got places to be, but I don't. Don't worry, you listeners out there. I'm always here to read your emails. This is from Emily Boyd. Hello, Brand, Dan, and Jax. What's calling my heart is all of you continuing to review When Calls the Heart. In this crazy world full of chaos, one constant is the three of you rolling your eyes at this show and listening to Jax attempt to spin everything into a positive. Jax inspires me to keep looking for the bright side of everything, no matter how mundane or confusing. With love and extra snow from Maine, Emily. Thank you, Emily. So sweet.
We love you.
I'm sending Robert a message, and I'm just saying, when the heck are they going to let you do something?
Wait, are you really? This
Yes.
is amazing.
I love it.
And I'll just keep everybody in a loop here.
Okay, please
Please
do.
do. Please do.
When the heck are they going to let you do something on When Calls the Heart? Okay. More on that later.
That's right.
We did.
We'll keep
Everybody.
you posted.
Congratulations to us. We'll be back next time on another one. Until then, may the first to wish you a
Merry
Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.